Can I get a sparkle?
Well, I know. Where's our sparkle? What up, everybody? It is another Thursday in July. It is Q3
Yeah.
of 2022. And guess what? J Pink K is in the studio today. Everybody, round of applause.
I'm back. I know. I'm back.
He is not gallivanting on an airplane somewhere
Not
outside of Los
Not for a
Angeles.
while, I think.
Are you sure?
I think.
Are you
I think I'm
positive?
staying still for a minute.
Okay.
That was the longest trip to get some cigarettes, Jay.
Cigarettes?
Ooh. Give yourself a womp womp.
Yeah.
I
Please,
control this. I'm not
Kelvin.
doing that.
Boo. Anyways, yes, I am back in the studio. I've been out and about for some weeks now.
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to some of the most recent travel excursions that you've had. But if you are new to this platform, my name is Shariq LeMay. And of course, we have
J Pink K, you know what it is.
who's been outside. And this is Limelight Live show. So, yeah. We like that you're here and listening to us.
I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, and we got your boy Kelvin.
That's me.
That's you. So let's get into it.
Play the music. You can put those headphones on so you can hear. You can hear us. No, it's different.
All right, we're just making sure we're not having any awkward technical difficulty.
I know, right?
You know, it's because you're back.
Oh, is that what
I'm
it
just gonna
is?
blame you.
Boo.
No.
Tomato.
No. I'm glad to have you back. And again, we're just gonna get into this special episode. This is one of my favorite episodes that we do actually, because we get to just get into all the tea.
Yeah,
whole
it's you know what, Lights On honestly is a fun episode. I think I like the fact that we try our best to focus on positive news, positive pop culture items, particularly things that relate to creatives and us, things that interest us, and it's a fun thing, and our takes be funny.
We wish you guys could be here. You just got to be here. But we love that you're listening, and make sure you guys are following us on all of our social platforms. That's Limelight Live Show on social media, and check us out on LeMayday.com, where you can watch us and see us live. Speaking of seeing us live, we have a special announcement.
Oh yes,
get a sparkle.
Oh my gosh.
So next week on Monday, July 11th, we are going to be first time live on stage at the Podcast Pit.
Yeah.
The Podcast Pit.
The Podcast Pit.
So yes, come see us. We will be live 7:30 p.m. on Monday. This is at
Joxer Daily's bar.
Yes, that is in Culver City. You can come check us out. Come meet us. Yeah. We're going to have merch. We might have a little giveaway, something like that.
Yeah, the address is 11168 Washington Boulevard, Culver City, California. And it's Joxer Daily, so it's Joxer.
Joxer like boxer with a J.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then Dailies is DALY''S.
I'm hooked on phonics.
Bar. The doors open at 7:30. We are one of 4 acts, I believe.
Shout out to them.
I don't know what order we're in yet. So just be there at 7:30.
Yeah, enjoy.
Stay for the whole thing and cheer for us. Make sure y'all cheer for us the loudest. Ow.
That's what we need.
We're gonna come in there swinging.
Of course. Shout out to you, Deuce the Truth, for tuning in. He's our boy. He's one of our favorite guests. So what else is going on?
Well, can I recap my weekend at Essence?
Sure, because I'm not jealous that you were at Essence Fest and you got to see Janet on stage in person.
I
guess we have some time. Go ahead.
No, in all honesty though, okay, so for those of you who don't know, Essence Festival was it didn't happen the past 2 years, obviously, because of the pandemic.
Correct.
So it was canceled. They did kind of like altered virtual versions of it, but not in full effect of what we've known to come for it to be in the past 27 years.
Yes.
So this was the first year back. And I'm gonna be honest, like I was very weary on what attendance was gonna look like. Are people still weary about traveling? I know travel's kind of like crazy right now with prices and stuff. So I was like, I think attendance might be low, whatever. I was sadly mistaken. Not sadly mistaken, but like I'm so glad that was not the case. Because when I tell you the people came out and they came out in full effect, that dome was packed. Packed, especially for Janet. And I was there for the night of Janet when she headlined. And according to Essence, they said this was one of their highest grossing nights in the festival's entire 27-year history. I took a video. I'll show you the video later. I took a video. There was a point where they had asked us to turn our flashlights on our phones. And so I took a video and I was like amazed. And I've been going to this event for years, right? And so it fluctuates. It has its ups and downs, and sometimes it's more full than others. And I think this was the fullest I've ever seen it. And it was just a beautiful, magical moment. And like, Essence Magazine, a platform dedicated to Black women, just seeing that Black girl magic across the entire city. People were just happy to have the festival back.
I was telling Kevin we need sparkle for Black girl magic.
Yeah.
Because it is what it is. So I read something hilarious online in regards to this. I haven't shared this with you yet because I wanted to get your reaction.
Okay.
So someone by the name of Michael Harriet, I'm not sure who he is, he tweeted, and I quote, "Freaknik went to college, bought a house in ATL, really Alpharetta, joined a grad chapter and got 2 master's degrees while raising 2 kids. Her youngest just got a full ride to Spelman. But she hates when anyone calls her Freaknik. She goes by Essence Fest now, and her FICO score is 770.
I'm weak. I'm weak.
For those of you who are too young to know what Freaknik is, this is hilarious.
Should we get off my phone?
But you know what? What's crazy is this is the demographic. Like, this is the demographic. But it looked like it was pretty diverse. It wasn't just the auntie.
Well, it's funny because the trending thing that I saw on social media was Essence Fest was basically Auntie Con.
Yes, I was going to.
And I was like, y'all shut up.
I'm an auntie, so what?
But Sharik, that's what I was gonna say. That like where we're at now in life, we are now the drunk aunties and uncles.
Auntie and proud. Okay, that is totally.
Sure, Liz.
So I have another question because I wasn't there, but I was watching on Hulu. Shout out to Hulu who put together.
I'm so glad they did that. I'm so glad they did that. First time ever.
There was a little bit of controversy in regards to your girl Angela Yee, but nonetheless, I appreciate.
Wait, what was the controversy with that?
They were just saying that she was not the greatest host. I guess they were saying that she was pretty dull. And
when did she
had
host?
A great clap, but you didn't.
Oh,
she was definitely.
She wasn't okay. I think the
live
we
stream.
Don't see. Yeah, right. We didn't see her part.
Right.
Those of us that were there. Yeah.
But it was. I thought she's Angela Yee, whatever. But what I did think was hilarious the night that Janet performed was, and I need to know because you're also from Louisiana because I hear this person's pretty popular around your way. Pokey Bear. Who? The dude that performed before Patti LaBelle. Were you there?
Pokey Bear.
You don't know who Pokey Bear is?
I was there was nobody who performed.
It was this OG dude named Pokey Bear, and he had like a 30-minute set.
Not on the main stage though.
It must not have been on the main
That's
stage.
what it was.
So how many stages were there?
So there's the main stage, and then there's 4 what they call them super lounges.
Okay.
Because the Superdome is huge.
Okay.
And so in the super lounges, they do smaller individual shows, but they're pretty big name acts. At one point, I left the main stage and I went to go see Dougie Fresh in one of the super lounges.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Dougie. Listen.
I would have preferred Dougie over Pokey.
So oh wait, so then if y'all saw Pokey, then he must have been on the main stage because I don't think they were broadcasting the super lounges.
Pokey Bear was right before Patti LaBelle, and he's huge. He has like 52 million followers.
That's what it was.
Views and all that stuff.
While that must have been happening, that's when I was gone then.
Okay.
Because he must have come on after Summer Walker.
Perhaps, yes.
Because I walked away for Summer's set to go see Dougie.
Got it. Well, when we come back from break, I'm gonna have to have Kelvin play a little snippet of Pokey Bear because I need to understand what's going on in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Well, I don't even know who that is. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I've been in LA for 12 years, so I'm a bit removed from some of the cultural things, and I was called out on it by some friends back in New Orleans. They're like, "Oh, we got you.
That's the episode.
We got you. You done lost your accent and everything. We gonna get you back on you." And I said, "All right, y'all. All right, we gonna stop."
Well, we'll
So I missed Pookie Bear.
Damn.
Although, what did I really miss?
The child, like I said, we'll find the clip later on. But
Okay.
anywho, today is another exciting day for us because what is today? MCU.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Thor.
The MCU release. We're gonna go see Thor: Love and
Oh.
Thunder today.
Oh, it's Thursday. Yeah.
It's Thursday.
It's
Thor's Day.
Thor. That was cute.
Hey,
Hey, you know,
all right.
You know,
That was
sparkles for
cute.
me.
So we are going to go see Love and Thunder Thor this evening as a crew. I'm really excited because this is just something that we do. And I was doing a little bit of research because I'm not all up to date with all
Yeah.
the newest and latest mentions or whatnot.
Yeah, I'm the
And-
real nerd.
Yeah, so they're introducing Jane Foster.
Mhm.
Am I correct?
Well, so Jane Foster, the character, has been around
Yeah, bring
already
her back.
for a couple of films, but
Bringing
she's
her
coming
back.
back now as the Mighty Thor. Is that correct,
Yeah.
Kelvin? Yeah.
Okay.
So her hero name is the Mighty Thor, which is the female version of Thor.
Okay, so is she or is she not a love interest of Thor?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she is.
She's been his on again, off again girlfriend
Yeah.
throughout the course of the timeline of the MCU. Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm with it. And it's played by Natalie Portman, which
Mhm.
love her. She's a great
Yeah,
actress.
she is great.
So I'm excited for tonight. We'll, tap back in with you guys. We might even discuss it on Monday when we're at Jocksters.
Okay,
Jocksters.
Jocksters.
When you're coming.
Jocksters.
Jocksters?
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
Jock-
I'm-
There's no tea.
No tea.
No tea.
Okay, see.
I'm really excited. From what I know, the storyline that they're going with from the comics,
Mhm.
because Jane Foster did become Lady Thor, in the comics. It has something to do with her health, and that's tied into how she became Thor. I won't give away too much, but there's an interesting story on how that came to be.
Mhm.
One thing also that I wanted to point out specifically about this movie is that they really wanted to be clear on the importance of representation from the LGBTQ community. Valkyrie, who's played by Tessa Thompson, as we know,
Mhm.
is now the king of Asgard.
Yep.
Thor gave her the title as king.
Oh.
Yes, she is king of Asgard. And at the end of Endgame, she says every king needs her queen.
Mhm.
And so I think they're going to look into that in regards to her finding a partner. And it's more than likely, same gendered in that aspect.
I
which
love that they do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Tessa's badass. Like I love her as Valkyrie. I love the character and what they've done with her so far.
Mhm.
I'm really looking forward to more. But yeah, I love that.
Well, we're gonna go check it out, and we'll let you guys know next week. How
Yeah,
we
we'll
like
give you our
it.
review. But from what I've heard so far, I've heard it's amazing.
All right. Well, that's our check-in, and we're excited about everything. So we're gonna get into these flashlight topics. All right. So we have quite a few flashlight topics because this is our special Lights On episode, and we just kind of dig into everything that's going on in the entertainment and creative
Yeah.
news world because we're experts at this by now, So first things first, because there's already been a lot of talk and a lot of debate over this, and I'm just ready for it to either happen or not happen so we can go on about our lives.
I'm ready to move on from it.
I know, child, but we have to make mention that there is some buzz saying that there is going to be a Chris Brown versus Usher. How do we feel?
I don't feel.
You're over it.
I mean, like I don't. I feel like there are other acts that Usher can go up against in a versus.
Really?
And
Such
also maybe before I get to that,
Okay.
also why does it have to be another man? Like there
Yeah.
are definitely female acts that Usher can go up against in verses that I think are at the caliber that he is at. And this is by no means is this taking anything away from Chris. Two things can be true.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't care to see Chris and Usher in a verses together.
Yeah.
I feel like, no shade, Chris, but you've been making the same song for the past 10 years.
Oh, you're not the only one that thinks that.
No.
Yeah.
Whereas
agree.
Usher has a very diversified catalog of music.
Okay.
And like if that's what we're going off of, I'm like,
Okay.
So that's where I stand with it. I'd love to see both of them in a verses. I don't think I need to see them together in a verses.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for it because I think catalog wise, number of hits wise, and if we are going based upon male R&B category. I don't think you can really put anyone else up against them, so to speak. But you make a good point, because for sure, when we had John Legend versus Alicia Keys, that was a proper matchup.
Absolutely.
And it was great. But, you know, I'm going to watch. I'll tune in. I'll see what happens.
Has it been confirmed?
It hasn't been confirmed. I haven't seen it posted by Versus, but this is what the people want. Again, I spoke about it last week. Chris Brown was on Drink Champs and talked about it as well. And he says, you know, nobody's really fooling with me, but, you know, it is what it is. We'll see what happens. And I mean, who else could you put Usher up against, though? Like a Beyonce?
Yeah, I would dare to say her. Yeah. They came out around the same time. Yes.
They have songs together.
They do. They do. I feel like that would be a really dope matchup.
That would be dope. Okay, well, we'll see. We'll stay tuned. We'll see what's going on. I think it's definitely doing something great for the culture. I will say that. I appreciate what Versus is doing for the culture, specifically R&B culture, which has been taking such a huge backseat. To like the trap.
Just make sure they know how to sing live.
Boom.
You know, we know what happened at the last one.
Vocal ability is
Mario was great.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm gonna say. I ain't shading nobody. Love you, Mario.
So speaking of the Queen Bee herself, there has been a little bit of controversy with her new single, Break My Soul, which is the title eloquently of this particular episode that we're doing.
It's the Break My Soul edition.
Beyonce got y'all out here quitting y'all jobs. What is going on? So Break My Soul became widely available on streaming services last week, racking up roughly 14 million US streams. 14 milli? Go ahead, Beyonce. I was definitely not one of them.
What, you don't like the song?
It's not my style. Not that I'm against it. It's just not my style of music. I think maybe if I'm like in a workout or if I'm with a group of people, I might put it on. We had an event at work today and they had it on repeat. So shout out to them. But yeah, I'm not surprised, of course. Not surprised. But the upbeat track, which has a clubby 1990s house music sound, which includes a passage where the R&B and pop singer says, "I just quit my job. They work me so damn hard." Beyonce sings on the track, "They work my nerves. That's why I cannot sleep at night." The song also includes lines such as "Release your job, release the time," and that's from Big Frida, right? Okay.
Which she also say "Release your trade."
Okay. But that is actually a snippet from the original song "Explode," which came out in 2014. Shout out to Big Frida. Has been, you know, give her a hand, give Frida a hand clap.
Yes.
Been everywhere. Been just really doing it for the movement, doing it for the culture. Has that new TV show with Ray J and Nene Leakes. It actually was kind of interesting. I checked out one episode. And Stacey Dash is on there too.
Yeah.
It's a hot.
I saw a clip with Stacey and I think they were in a classroom and the instructor was giving off certain like colloquialisms or like different phrases that the Black community would use, and everybody answered, and Stacey's looking like clueless. Clueless, for lack of better words, clueless.
Hey, pun and all the way into
it. And I was like, Stacey, you are a menace.
Yes, but
it was entertaining though.
Shout out to Frida because she's doing it for the culture.
I love Big Frida.
But is Break My Soul landing at a late point in the economic cycle? Recession fears are mounting and high inflation is taking a bite out of America's purchasing power. And I have a quote. "This is unusually good time to take stock of your options," says Stephen Davis, an economics professor at the University of Chicago. And yet Mr. Davis sees a high chance of mild recession and believes workers should be wary. Just because your friends found it really easy to switch jobs in the last 6 months doesn't mean you're going to find it equally easy in the next 6 months, he says. On one hand, there are bullish economics such as Brad DeLong, who argue that Beyonce's advice is essentially sound. He says, and I quote, "Yes, if you are going to jump, now is definitely the time to jump," says the University of California, Berkeley economics professor. Berkeley, that makes sense. Shout out to B-Town. Who is also a deputy assistant treasury secretary. He says, "And now is the time to make sure your boss knows that you could and you might release your job." So
why?
Yeah. I mean, I've done it.
Yeah.
It was scary.
You left a job before a recession?
I left the job right before the pandemic.
Oh.
Not knowing the pandemic was coming. Had I known, however, I may not have done it. Right. But I would say it was the best decision I've ever made in my life. Sometimes things have to be really, really murky in order for you to really float, is what I would say. Because when you can see things, when you can see what's coming, when you know what's happening, you may not make the jump.
Right.
And when we're in a recession, a lot of different types of businesses end up flourishing because it's taking advantage of the current economic state.
I mean, and we definitely saw that with the creative community during the pandemic. I mean, we thrived.
Yeah.
You know, we found new ways to become innovative with our careers and things. And I mean, the things that came out of that for creatives, you know, we definitely saw that implemented.
Hashtag no PPP loans.
You know, I mean, yeah.
But shout out to Beyonce, because the Break My Soul single has actually got her some pretty major accolades. According to Billboard, the only other musician to achieve this feat, which is she's had at least 20 top 10 singles as a solo artist and at least 10 top 10 tracks as a member of a group on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The only other people to achieve this is Paul McCartney and, of course, Michael Jackson. So shout out to Beyonce.
Shout out to Beyonce. Finger snaps.
And if you quit your job, just pray.
I ain't quitting my
Meditate.
job, but love you, B.
You know. In other news, I know you don't like to talk about this person very oftenly, but
I'm gonna let you take the lead on this.
Your boy Kanye is in some hot water once again. He is accused of not returning a rare archival piece, or pieces, multiple pieces, in a 6-figure lawsuit. So pretty much he has some very extinguished items from a top designer by the name of David. I can't remember his last name at this time because my tabs aren't opening. But Kanye is not returning clothes. For those of you that don't know, when you go and you pull items from designers, you pay a fee to rent it, whatever. You pay an even larger fee if you don't return it. It's all politics.
Yeah.
And apparently Kanye is not returning some of these rare pieces.
Now, is it him or is it his style team that's being irresponsible? Because the artist, it's not their typically it is not their responsibility. Usually the stylist is doing the pull. You know, they're the ones who hold the credit card for, you know, any damages or, you know, whatever. And then it's the stylist's job to bring those items back.
Yes.
This is the last thing the artist is thinking about.
I would totally agree, which I do agree. However, if you've watched Kanye's anything, you know he is incredibly hands-on with everything. He's the person
that's true. He is
actually going in person.
Yeah.
He's checking the designs.
He's a fashion guy.
All of that.
That's true.
So this particular designer is David Casavant. And he has these different archives of these amazing pieces. And your boy Kanye out here holding on to them. So he's trying to get his money back because that's where the money resides. And
Kanye.
he got it. He could pay.
Yeah, he got it.
Pay for it, and
but
keep
it's so irresponsible.
It's ghetto. So you guys.
Oh, hold on.
What?
We're not using that word no more.
What are we using?
Trailer park. It's very trailer park.
All right, hand clap for that. I'm with it.
That's very trailer park, Kanye.
It's a new day. It is a new day.
Okay.
I love it. But 400,000.
I mean, that's a drop in the bucket for Kanye. But pay that man.
That's a different type of.
People work really hard for their designs, for their fashion. Like
I'm saying,
you know,
if
you want to keep the clothes, fine, buy it.
Okay. Well, speaking of billionaires and gazillionaires,
Mm.
child, talking about keep your job.
Okay.
Unfortunately, if you work for Twitter, you probably can't, because as of today, it has come out that Twitter has laid off 30% of its talent acquisition team.
That's a lot.
As the company leads with increasing business pressures and the potential takeover from your boy Elon Musk, who I heard today also is him and Nick Cannon are double-handedly repopulating the planet. The layoffs came after the company in May announced that it would be pausing its hiring and looking to cut costs. As a result of the revised business needs, and the company is restructuring and reducing its talent acquisitions team. This is sad.
That is sad.
I don't use Twitter. You use Twitter.
I'll be on Twitter.
We're actually streaming onto Twitter, on your Twitter
We're
right
on
now.
my Twitter page right now.
So what is going on, Twitter?
I don't know.
That's really sad.
That is very sad. That's a lot of people to lose their job.
30%.
That's a big chunk.
Talent acquisitions team, if you're not familiar, talent acquisitions usually deals with, top tier talent. They deal with the people that are on the platform, and this is maybe the hiring team.
Yes.
We have to dig a little bit deeper
100%.
into exactly what this talent acquisition stands for, but nonetheless.
But for a company like Twitter, I imagine that team is not small.
Correct.
Like, so they definitely let go of quite a few folks.
Yeah. So
And I wonder what that actually means for, like, how does that affect the platform itself?
exactly.
The day-to-day, the production of all, of how that operates.
I don't imagine they're laying off coders, but
No,
I don't
probably
know.
not.
Well, whatever it is,
They might consider. You know what? This could be preparation for the recession, as in they're not hiring, or they won't be hiring for a while. In which case, maybe they're downsizing that team specifically because there are certain responsibilities that they don't need at the moment.
Maybe.
I mean, could be wrong. I'm no.
But it's awfully funny
economics.
because usually when a company is going to be acquired, no, actually, sometimes they do. Once it's acquired is when the layoffs may happen. Not before, because whoever acquires said company might want to do some restructuring themselves. So for them to be doing it, before Elon Musk takes over, I don't know. I'm a little confused about that.
I'm a little concerned.
But I don't use Twitter as much. Do you think Twitter is here to stay?
100%.
Why is that?
It's too reliable. People use it. I mean, by the second.
It is where you go when
it's
Facebook
just where
or
you
Instagram
go. I
down.
don't go to the news. Like,
okay.
all my information I get from Twitter. And if I don't know something, I go to Twitter.
You're gonna find it.
And I find it fast. I must say that Twitter is a powerful, powerful tool.
Yeah.
And even business wise, I've connected with people that I otherwise couldn't find an email or something. And I've sent a tweet and gotten a response and made certain connections that I needed to make in the media with that.
That's amazing. Let's give Twitter a little spark.
Twitter is useful. I hope it doesn't go anywhere.
I had no idea. I need to be a little bit more active on Twitter myself, but that's good to hear. We'll see what happens.
It's still a very dark place, so just be mindful.
That is very true.
Yeah. Twitter after dark.
But let us know what you guys think. Do you think Twitter is here to stay? Do you think Twitter needs to go away? I only check it when Instagram or Facebook is down, but we're going to get into these commercials and come right back with the next flashlight topic.
Ow.
Do you think Twitter needs to go away? I only check it when Instagram or Facebook is down, but we're going to get into these commercials and come right back with the next flashlight topic.
Ow.
Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I may need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them. The Podcast Pit is coming.
The Podcast Pit is coming.
Are you looking to buy a home? Are you looking to sell your home? If your answer is yes, call the Walker Group at 310-421-6464. With over 18 years experience, the Walker Group has serviced clients throughout Southern California with their real estate need. Let us be of service to you as well. Once again, call the Walker Group at 310-421-6464 or visit our website at www.exprealty.com. Once again, that's www.exprealty.com.
Hey, my name is Jasmine Sweets, and I'm so excited to be bringing you The Sweet Spot on TGN Vibes, Good Vibes, and R&B. Playing the old school, new school, and in between. I'm coming to you this summer. Stay tuned.
Oye, locos, this is Rennie with the Brown Skin Investors, helping communities of color learn more about financial literacy. Catch us every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on TGN Latinx.
Hey, Peyton, you know what I've been craving lately? Some ice cream.
Then we have to go to Slush & Roll. They have the best handmade ice cream rolls. You can add any toppings you like. Sprinkles, crushed Oreos, and my favorite, marshmallows. And you can top it off with whipped cream or delicious chocolate drizzle.
I just looked them up, and you can find them at 12742 Crenshaw Boulevard in Hawthorne, California. And they even have vegan options, too.
They sure do. And they are open from Tuesday to Sunday, 12 to 8 p.m.
And I just followed them on Instagram at Slush & Roll. Sounds too good. Let's go right now.
Yay!
What's up? It's your girl, Kirsten and Moni, and we are Never Not Extra. Be sure to check us out every Tuesday live at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on the Good News Radio app. And if you didn't know, now you know.
It's back, Jax. Have you heard? It's back.
Michael, what are you talking about? What's back?
The podcast pit. It is returning Monday, May 23rd. Brand new venue.
Oh my God, the podcast pit is back. Exciting. Where's it at?
It's going to be at Joxer's Daily at 7:30 p.m.
I know where that's at. That's at 11168 Washington Boulevard in Culver City.
So, Jax, will I see you there?
Oh, you know it, baby.
And we're back.
And we're back.
I hope you enjoyed this commercial break. Again, my name is Shariq LeMay, and we have
Jay Pinkay, you know
And
what
we-
it is.
Limelight Live, sparkle, 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 twinkle, twinkle. And if you were not watching or tuned in before our wonderful commercial break, we are doing our Lights On episode in which we do all flashlight topics. And what our flashlight topics are just different topics within the entertainment and creative industries in which we want to highlight and discuss and show esteem for. So if you have anything that you want us to discuss, feel free to give us a call too. We actually have a phone number you can call in directly.
323-900-0478. Again, that is 323-900-0478. Call in, talk to us, chat.
We like
You know what it is. Give me your opinion.
Yes. So we're going to get into this next one. I'll let you take this.
Yeah. So, okay. Do you remember the movie A League of Their Own?
Yes.
It came out in 1992 and it starred Gina Davis, Rosie O'Donnell, Madonna.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Hanks. So it's reprising. It's coming back. This is a reboot, but it's going to be in the form of a series on Amazon. Rosie O'Donnell is actually returning for a new role. She's playing the role of Vi in the Prime Video reboot. And this movie, it was an iconic film for the time. In 1982, I remember. So if you don't know anything about this movie, it's about women's baseball league, the very first women's baseball league. And it was during, I don't know, whatever World War.
Yeah.
And it was because men were off to war, so women started the league. And
softball.
Yes. Was it softball?
Was it softball? Were they underhand or overhand?
I don't know. I ain't no sports guy.
One of them.
But I was a kid.
I had it on VHS too.
Oh, child, you're telling your age.
I'm comfortable.
I was a kid when this film came out, and I think I was like 7.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I was just enamored with this film, because it was, it touched on some very deep topics for that time period, and what these women dealt with their husbands away in the war. Yeah, being moms, being single moms at the time, and dealing with losing loved ones during the war and whatnot. And I don't know why, but it was such a good film that I myself as a child, my young mind was like, I loved it. That was one of the earliest films that I think Madonna was ever in.
Yeah.
Which,
she
looking
did
back,
good.
she did amazing.
You watch it and you sometimes forget that you're watching Madonna.
Yeah.
Which I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
It's Madonna.
But the film itself was really good. And the cast was all white in the original film, whereas this reboot is going to look at a diverse set of women during that time period now.
For it, because we existed.
Hand claps, Kelvin. Hand claps.
We existed. We were there.
Yes.
We was athletic.
I remember in the original movie, there was one moment where I think they were rehearsing or they were practicing, or it was in the middle of a game, and a ball went out of bounds. And there was like a couple of black women who came, and she threw the ball. And it was kind of like, that was the acknowledgement of, black women who could play. But that's it. That's all the original film gave us.
So it potentially is going to touch on integration.
Yes.
Within that particular
So
sport.
I'm glad that it's coming back as a series, because it allows us to really dive into what that story could look like, versus with just a film we might have a limited view of that. But with a series, I think they'll really get to dive in and explore that. And they'll explore multiple stories and what that looks like. So I love that. I'm here for this reboot. Some reboots get it right, a lot of reboots get it wrong, but I'm hoping the best for this one.
And I'm excited because where has Rosie O'Donnell been?
I know. I love Rosie.
She was huge. Like in the 90s, she was huge. She had her show. She was on this particular movie, really set her off. Her character, I loved her character because she was witty and sassy.
She was
all of the things.
Betty in the Flintstones.
Yeah. She was all of the things.
Rosie. Yeah, like
she was huge. So I'm happy to see her coming back. To just, she has some controversies as well.
Yeah.
With her mouth. That's what happens. But I think she's a great actress. I think she has wonderful beats, and I'm excited to see it. I'll check out an episode or two. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Hopefully Tom Hanks comes back too, because he's the GOAT.
I don't know that he.
Man, that might be too big time, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It would be nice if he makes a cameo.
Yeah, some sort of cameo.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love Tom too.
So shout out to the reboot culture.
Yeah.
I'm not always here for it, but
I'm here for this one.
I think this one would be good. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So let's talk about Barbie. A very specific Barbie. We're talking about Laverne Cox and how Laverne Cox got her own Barbie.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Shout out to Laverne Cox.
Yes, shout out to Laverne.
Icon. This is amazing.
Mattel's recent release of its first transgender Barbie of famed actress and activist Laverne Cox is giving me and you life.
All of it.
100%. The doll, designed by Mattel lead designer Carlisle Noera, who is queer, describes the Cox doll as modeling for the 4-time Emmy-nominated actress, Emmy-winning producer, and the first transgender woman of color to have a leading role on a scripted TV show, talking about Orange is the New Black. Laverne Cox uses her voice to amplify the message of moving beyond societal expectations to live more authentically. I think this is great.
I'm excited.
I love this. And I love Laverne. Laverne is so talented.
Yeah.
For one, I'll never forget the first time I saw her on screen, and she was in Orange is the New Black, which is a great show. It's one of, I think it was Netflix's first original show, or one of the first.
It's one of the first.
Yeah, it was one of the first. And
when they were spending all that money.
Okay. And it's probably one of the best.
Yes,
honestly.
'cause they've
And
been spending too
when
much
I saw
money.
Laverne, I was like, wow. This is incredible.
Yeah, no,
this is
definitely.
huge. And from that moment, Laverne's career trajectory has been nothing
Out of
short of
this
amazing.
world. Out of this world. The
And
only
she's just
other
good.
person I could compare it to is Billy Porter. Like between Billy Porter and Laverne Cox, and just what they do for the culture and for the LGBT.
I would say also MJ Rodriguez,
Yes.
Michaela J.
Definitely. Oh, I caught an episode of the new series at
Loot?
MJ. Yes,
Yes.
it's pretty good.
It's hilarious.
It's gonna have me getting my Apple Plus subscription back.
Yeah.
I've been trying to save money.
I kept mine, and I'm glad I did.
Because I just been waiting for Ted.
Physical is out. Physical season 2 is
Okay.
pretty good. Loot is really good. I'm holding out for Apple TV. I
Okay.
like it.
All right, that's another
But yeah,
conversation. We
MJ, I like that role that MJ's in,
Yes.
because she's a boss, she's a power woman, but she's a power woman with purpose.
Yes.
You know, she believes in the cause of the nonprofit that she works with,
Mhm.
and dealing with what's her face, the main character,
Maya Rudolph.
yes, dealing with her character and what she's coming from. She's just trying to keep it together.
Yeah.
You know, with this aloof woman with lots of money.
Hella money.
Listen. But anyways, back to Laverne. I'm so happy for her. And this isn't just to celebrate Laverne. This celebrates all of the young trans kids who would have never had a toy, you know, that they could admire and be like, this person understands my journey. You know, it's more than just that. It's more, it's bigger than just Laverne.
Yeah, and
It's for the community.
I want to say too, this is actually perfect timing because the new Barbie movie is going to be dropping in 2023. So
Mhm.
Barbie is just doing this whole movement. I, for one, I will admit, I was a hardcore Barbie little girl. Like I had all the Barbies. Even my cousin was like, I remember you had all the Barbies. I had the MC Hammer Barbie doll.
Oh wow.
Child.
MC Hammer had a Barbie
Hammer
doll?
had a Barbie. I had the Brandy Barbie. Okay. I had the Black Ken, all the Kens. I had the Cars. I had Malibu Barbie. I had the whole everything. It was my life. I was making my own reality
I love that
shows.
for you.
I was making my own reality shows. Okay. It was a lot of people cheating and people getting caught. I was making
How old were you?
outfits. I was like from 5 to 8 or 9.
I love this.
Before it was not cool to play with Barbies anymore.
I was sneak playing with Barbies.
Okay.
I was.
That's
So
a
I
movie in
had
itself.
like a younger aunt, so she
Mhm.
had some dolls, and she had a few Barbies, and I would sneak play with them, and then I would get in trouble because my mom would catch me. She said, "You can't play with them." But then my grandmother would be like, "You let him play with whatever he wants.
Shout out
If
to
he wants to
Granny.
play with the dolls, let him play with the dolls." And my grandmother, she would go and buy little outfits for the Barbies so that I could dress them and stuff. Because when I was what I was fascinated with their hair and their dresses. I think that's how like my first inkling to fashion was that. Like
That
I
was a
loved their
thing.
clothing, and I wanted to dress them and put their clothes on, and that's I think that's where the first initial attraction to the fashion industry came for me as a kid.
I love that.
Yeah.
And now that I'm thinking about it, this is probably why I'm a producer, because I was having my own little reality show.
Reality show. Listen.
I even had what was the little sister's name?
I forgot her name.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh, this is horrible. But yeah, I even had the little sister that did the babysitting. I even had a baby. I had all that stuff.
I am weak.
But yes, the
Not
new
the
Barbie
storytelling.
movie. Child. This new Barbie movie is going to be played by Margot Robbie, which I think that is a very interesting choice.
Mhm.
I love her.
I do
She's
too.
very quirky, and I'm
Mhm.
because of this choice, I'm thinking there might be a little darkness to this movie.
Yeah,
To a certain
because
extent.
and it's not just her, because Issa Rae is Barbie as well. She's in
Oh,
the
I did
film.
not know
Yes,
that.
there's a black Barbie storyline in the
I'm
film
here
as
for it.
well.
I'm here. For
Ryan
it.
Gosling is playing Ken.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Uh, eh,
I don't know how I feel about that.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is going to be a great thing for this to happen at this time when
Mhm.
Barbie is just doing this whole push. I
Mhm.
think it's going to be great. So I'm here for it. Shout out to Laverne Cox and shout out to Barbie's little sister Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I found it.
Chelsea?
Is it Chelsea?
Chelsea.
Is it Chelsea is one of them. Is it
How many does she have?
Skipper?
Skipper.
Skipper.
Her sister's name is Skipper.
Skipper.
A dog's name?
Skipper Roberts.
You know about this. Skipper is a pet.
But yes, I know I am not the only one, so don't be on here listening to us and judging based upon my love and affection for Barbie.
I ain't
because
judging.
Apparently, it helped
I am
us
judging
get-
Skipper's name.
Yeah.
But yeah, so again, shout
This
out to Laverne Cox.
isn't there one of Barbie's friends named Veronica? Isn't there a Veronica doll? The brunette.
Yeah, there's the brunette.
Mhm.
I just had Barbie.
I think it was Veronica Barbie.
We'll let y'all know. We definitely gonna watch
Veronica
the movie.
Barbie.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So I want to get into this next one because this one is actually very close and near and dear to my heart. Your girl Viola Davis.
Okay.
The great Viola Davis. The trailer dropped yesterday for Woman King, which is a film that is set to hit September 16th. Coincidentally, that's my mom's birthday. Yeah. So have you seen the trailer?
Yes.
The trailer is intense, honey. So Viola Davis is taking her throne in her new film, The Woman King, which is set to hit this fall, again, September 16th. The film is inspired by the story of Angoji, the all-female unit of warriors who protected the African kingdom of the Dahomey in the 1800s with skills and a fierceness unlike anything this world has ever seen. Davis plays General Naniska, who is training and the next generation of recruits and readies them for battle against the enemy determined to destroy their way of life. So basically, they fighting all the white colonialists coming into the hood, trying to take everybody to be slaves.
The hood. They come into the hood into the 1800s.
They protecting the set and the people, and I'm totally here for it. John Boyega, who was in Star Wars, is also in the film. I think he plays the king, King Gezo. Thuso Mbudu, who plays Null. And then there's another one who I think was one of the warriors in the Marvel Black Panther movie. I think there's a couple of those women in there as well.
Not Danae.
No. But there's just some familiar faces that I've seen.
Oh wait, I know who it is. She was in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I think yes.
Her.
Yes,
She's
yes,
German
yes.
actually.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, she's African, German African.
The trailer looks awesome. Though.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that this story is being told. It's about Darndheim.
Yeah.
I do have a confession.
Okay.
As much as I love Viola.
Okay.
There's a part of me that wishes that they casted someone actually of African descent.
Oh,
in this
100%.
role. And I say that because the accent isn't giving for me. Her accent, it feels a little forced. I love her acting. I love her as an actress.
Yeah.
I think she's amazing. She's phenomenal. And I'm sure they chose her because they knew the star power that she has is going to be beneficial to this film. I personally would love to see someone new.
Yeah.
I would love to see someone new that has that power, that has that intenseness and that energy as to where when I'm watching the movie, I'm not watching Viola Davis. You know what I mean? Like I really want to feel like this is that character. So I'm still excited for the movie. I'm still happy the story is being told and I still love her. But I think moving forward, when we tell these stories, I think it would be more authentic to actually cast people that are from the continent. I mean, we're
100%.
from the continent, but can identify more closely, at least to the linguistics of it. At
100%.
least. So that's just me. Let me know what you think. But I'm gonna watch it either way. Also, I just downloaded her audiobook, which I heard was amazing.
Okay.
I'm gonna listen to that. So Viola gets all of my support nonetheless.
Okay.
We gonna watch it.
we definitely gonna watch it.
And the trailer they used Beyonce song "Power," which I love that song.
Yeah.
Shout out to. I mean, Beyonce's all over this episode.
She is.
So I mean, it's still entertainment. Sports is entertainment. I had to put this on the list because I
put this on the list.
What? Did you?
Yes.
I put this on the list.
I put this on the list.
Okay.
The last two were mine.
Hey man, you haven't been here, all right?
Well, my mental put this on the list.
Okay.
Because I'm a diehard Raiders fan.
I know. That's why I put it on there. I said, Sharika's going to appreciate this story.
I swear I thought I did, but that's hilarious. We're connected.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Shout out to the Raiders organization. Dare I say the Las Vegas Raiders, but of course they're always Oakland. The team has hired Sandra Douglas Morgan to be their new president, making her the very first Black woman in NFL history to be named in that position. Let's just give that an applause.
Yes.
It's about gosh darn time.
Yeah. The Raiders announced the news in a statement on Thursday, with the team later holding a press conference to introduce Morgan. Morgan is the former chairwoman of Nevada Gaming Control Board, and she's expected to replace former interim team president Dan Ventrell, who was dismissed by the franchise in May, according to the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
This is enough to get me to be a fan through again.
Even from another city?
Because I was bitter.
I feel it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I feel
my
it.
city is hurting right now. And when they left, it really took it was a blow.
I think if the Saints ever left New Orleans, I would still be a Saints fan.
The thing about Raiders is it's about the organization and the history.
Yeah.
And if you follow the history of the Raiders, this is typical Raider move, because the Raiders were definitely pivotal and monumental in bringing forth the move and diversity within the NFL. Al Davis, rest in peace, was very, very instrumental in that, and the type of players that he was bringing onto these NFL teams. Believe it or not, you guys, the NFL used to be pretty white.
Mm-hmm.
And Raiders and the types of people that they brought onto the team, they were oftentimes looked at as thugs or degenerates or whatever you can think of.
Yeah.
That was what the Raiders were known for being. So the fact that they have a Black woman president as the first, it makes total sense that the Raiders would do that. It's just Raider fashion.
Yeah.
So this is enough to get me really, really excited again about Raider Nation. So shout out to her.
Yeah. Raiders owner Mark Davis expressed his excitement in the hiring of Morgan, and he says, "I am thrilled that Sandra has agreed to join the Raiders family. Her experience, integrity, and passion for this community will be invaluable to our organization. From the moment I met Sandra, I knew she was a force to be reckoned with. We are extremely lucky to have her at the helm."
I love it.
I love that she's getting the support.
And let me tell you about Mark Davis.
Uh-huh.
I met him at an event.
Wow.
This is many, many years ago. And I said to him straight up, I said, you're going to keep Raiders in Oakland, aren't you? And when I tell you, he didn't lie, but he didn't tell me. And he just was like, let's take the picture.
Oh, wow.
I told him straight up, do not take my team out of Oakland. So
he said, "I ain't worried about you, little girl."
Child, he going where the money resides. I'm not too
where
surprised.
the money resides.
But nonetheless, it's hard to not be a Raider fan when you've been one all of your life.
Let's go to a game.
It's gonna be intense. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
Well, you from Who Dat Nation, so I think you can handle it. I want to say I was also, if it wasn't the Raiders, I did root for the Saints. I will say that. Partially because it was black and gold and we were black and silver. And at the time, I really liked Ricky Williams. He was one of my favorite players. So shout out to the Saints as well. And Raider Nation.
Who dat?
This is awesome. I'm excited. And she made a funny quote actually too.
Oh yeah.
She said she was really excited to meet the Raider spokesperson. Ice Cube. That's what she said. She's super excited to have conversations with Ice Cube because he is like the Raider everything. Like, this is his team. So she was like, I'm gonna talk to him and we're gonna figure all this out. Okay.
Okay.
Can she also take Mark Davis to a good barbershop? Goddamn.
Kelvin.
Goddamn.
Womp 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 womp.
Womp womp, please.
But that was funny though. So yes, shout out to the Black Girl Magic, all up in the NFL at this time. I'm loving it.
I'm loving it too. Okay, so this is an interesting. We coming back to Beyonce.
We started and we gonna end.
We did say it was the Break My Soul episode. Okay, so I don't know if you saw this or heard about this interview that Method Man gave. You know, and he was bearing his soul. He was saying a lot, you know, and there's one specific story that, you know, trended because he felt like he owed Destiny's Child an apology, you know, an apology that he wanted to give them 21 years for 21 years. Basically, so what it is Method Man met Destiny's Child in 1999. All right. And apparently they hit it off. This was when the group was still a foursome.
The original four.
Yes, the original four. A few years later, at the 2001 MTV Icon Janet Jackson event, right? He saw them again, and we know they were a threesome then, and they were performing that night. They were, you know, the night was to honor Janet Jackson, and the girls were going to sing "Let's Wait a While." And so apparently during that time, Method Man was dealing with a lot of insecurities. He was dealing with, you know, some emotional stress, some mental health things. And he also was struggling with an addiction to ecstasy.
Yeah.
So he saw the girls in it was a loud moment. And he had gotten up to go talk to them. And he tried to address them. They didn't see or hear them or hear him. So he thought they ignored him.
Shade. He thought it was shade.
You know, but that wasn't the case. They just legit did not hear him.
Right.
So then later on in the night, I believe there was a producer involved who was supposed to work with him and them on the Bootylicious track. Or it might have been a different track, but it was Bootylicious. It was Bootylicious. Yeah. Okay. So that producer was going to make an intro. So when that moment happened, Method Man was in his feelings. And when they went to say hello, he didn't, like, he said, go on with their Hollywood and paid them dust, basically. So he snubbed them right then and there because he was under the impression that they did that to him, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, because a lot of the times, and something that he mentioned, when you're on this particular type of drug and other drug, you're very paranoid and you're overly conscious of how people perceive you.
Yeah.
And you're kind of in a very narcissistic state. You think everything going on is about you.
Yeah.
And what I did like, and I'll let you get to his apology, is how he kind of realized that it was really the opposite of that.
Yeah. 21 years later, he says that, you know, he harbored that in his heart, you know, that he hated that even happened.
Right.
You know, he said they did nothing to him. And because of how he acted that night, he's kind of had this guilt over these years. So he publicly apologized to the girls. And he apologized to each of them individually, I believe.
Yeah, he said Kelly, he said Michelle, he said Beyonce.
Yeah. And what's interesting is, of course, Tina reposted it on her Instagram. She reposted that part of the interview, and she shared saying, thank you, Method Man. It takes a real man to tell this story. He's such a great example for other young men. Don't assume someone is dissing you. You know, and that's I think a lot of people assume you're getting this, and it might not be the case.
Hollywood can be pretty fickle.
Yeah.
Hollywood can be pretty fickle, and it's really hard to know and to tell. I've been in situations where I was trying to introduce somebody to somebody, and a person might give them the finger, like, hold on, because I'm talking to somebody else. And
that's not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal.
Yeah.
I've definitely been in a lot of those situations. You really do have to humble yourself. But I get where he's coming from, because think about Method Man in the 90s. Method Man, Red Man, the How High series of movies that they did. Like, he was big. He felt he was on some big shit back then. And he felt as though he deserved a certain amount of respect. And a lot of people, specifically in the hip hop industry, feel as such.
Yeah.
And so I can see how he felt as though he got snubbed. But again, because of his addiction, and this is him later having the self-realization and looking back in retrospect, that moment wasn't about him.
Yeah.
He said this was about Janet.
Yeah.
So for me to even go there just really didn't make sense. And it wasn't true to form to who I really was as an individual. And I love that he spoke about this on this platform. And I feel like it's important for other
What
Black
was
men.
the show that he was on?
They were in were they in a barber shop? I forget the name of the
Oh,
show.
okay. I know this show.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's on Showtime or HBO.
I don't know if it was LeBron's show.
Yeah, I think LeBron. It wasn't LeBron.
It wasn't
I don't
LeBron's.
think
It
so.
was something else that's like on another streaming platform. But I just think he spoke really eloquently, and you can see the maturity within him. And the reason why I think this is really special is because you can see the maturity within hip hop.
Mhm.
I think hip hop has the potential because now people are becoming more wiser.
Yeah.
And the younger generations are carrying it to another place. But this particular genre of hip hop is definitely becoming more mature. Think about the Jay-Z's, think about the P. Diddy's and the Method Man's. He's doing his thing, So I really think that was a special moment for him to go ahead and issue that apology.
Yeah. That
I'm
was
here
really
for it.
special.
And shout out to Mama Tina because she always jumping on the tea.
Okay. Always.
Because I like to say, let me do the Beyonce way and not acknowledge certain things because that's just what Beyonce does. And who knows, maybe she might contact him privately or through her people or whatever and say thank you. But Beyonce does not acknowledge things publicly, which I love about her.
Yeah.
But Mama Tina.
Mama Tina gonna do it.
Mama Tina gonna be here.
Okay.
So that's what's up.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I just realized this. Did you know today is the 40-year anniversary of Young Love, which is Janet Jackson's very first album?
No, I did not.
40 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So we had Janet all over this here thing too,
Yes. That's really dope. She tweeted about it. She's like, wow, thanks for all the love, guys. It's been 40 years. And she used the hashtag Young Love.
Yeah. I'm
that's dope.
excited. I'm excited for what Janet has to come.
Yes, the album I read the album was supposed to release before the pandemic. It's called Black Diamond.
Mhm.
She was already, had a tour set
Everything
and
ready to go.
everything, and then the pandemic hit. She stopped,
Mhm.
and then she focused on being a mom, as she should.
Yeah.
And so I read today. I think it was Rolling Stone or something else
Mhm.
that she's releasing it before the end of the year.
Well, we're excited to see it. I know
Bam,
you're
bam.
gonna be on it.
You already know.
Yeah, well, that concludes our Lights On episode. Again, make sure you are checking us out on all of the platforms, Limelight Live Show on social media, on the Good News Radio app, as well as on their social media, The Good News and TGN Talks. And come see us Monday.
Yeah.
At Joxer Daily Monday
in Culver City.
7:30. We're gonna be live. We'll also be here on Thursday as well. So
Yeah.
we love y'all. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Gang.
Bye.